are listening to 89.7 PBAFM Rock Hard with Phil and Tish. I'm pretty stoked right now.
I can tell you're shaking in your boots.
I actually shouldn't say because we don't normally do like video interviews, so I probably shouldn't be too much of a fanboy. But we are talking right now to Mr. Burton C Bell, mate. Thanks so much for joining us.
Phil, Tish, thank you for having me on. I'm honored to be here, and I'm just grateful for your time. Thank you so much.
We're super excited. So you're coming to Australia in June. Could you tell people what to expect from those shows?
Well, it's going to be pretty much in and out tour. We're only doing the East Coast, unfortunately. I wish we could get to Adelaide. And
damn it, we're from Adelaide. Next time, maybe.
Yeah, next time. Definitely next time. But June 11th is Brisbane. The 12th is Newcastle. Friday the 13th is Sydney.
Nice.
Melbourne's on the 14th. So it's going to be just constant. We're just going to be rocking and rolling, banging it out. And we plan to bring in a lot of variety of sounds from my entire catalog.
Awesome.
As you know, I've been doing this for 30 plus years. I have music not just from Fear Factory, but also from Essential to Watchers, from Geezer Butler's first solo record called Plastic Planet, and a band called City of Fire that I've actually toured Australia with. Plus, I got new music on the way. I got new music out already, and I'm going to have more music out by the time I get there. Hopefully, a couple more singles. We'll see if we can go at least one. But, I'm picking and choosing from a criteria that I've come up with for my next chapter of my career, and that's a saying that I've been saying to myself. It's heavy, groovy, dark, and moody.
Nice.
So,
That's awesome.
so if it fits that criteria from all the music that I've been part of, I'm gonna try and fit it in. So it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be groovy.
Love it.
I've got a great band behind me now. I've always worked with incredible musicians. I got to say that. And my new group is fantastic, fresh blood. That it took me 2 years to curate this band. But I got 2 guitar players, a bass player, and a drummer. So the music I'm playing, I am interpreting into my new criteria. So where there were keyboards is now going to be a guitar player.
Oh, cool.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so that's something I've always felt would be really cool for something I would want to do. So now it's finally happening. So it's just expect some heavy grooving music and full on live. We're ready to do it.
Can't wait.
That's so good. So I know you're in and out real quick on this tour, but is there anything in particular you're looking forward to when you do come back to Australia?
I mean, just playing in general. I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to. I have missed as a performer, as a live performance artist for 30 plus years, and not being on the stage for some time now. My soul has missed it.
Yeah.
So I am really looking forward to being on stage again. And the Australian audience has always been receptive and respectful, engaging, and just they've just been full on. But I'm looking forward to just getting out there and just making it happen, and to make more memories to come in the future.
Awesome, man. Make sure you get to Utopia Records when you're in Sydney as well. It's like the greatest
I
record.
plan on doing that for sure.
Nice.
I do plan on that.
So
And
just sort of talking about me, like I still remember the first time I heard Fear Factory. I was 15 years old, and an Australian music show, Rage. I know you're looking at me now, going, "Look how bald and grey you are." You're older and looking younger. But I was 15 and I'd sort of just started getting into heavier stuff. I was into hard rock and a bit of metal at that point anyway. And I remember hearing Replica on a music program here, Rage, for the first time, and just became a massive fan from there. Did you realize at that time how much of an influence your band and you would have as a vocalist on so many artists, moving forward over the years?
no, not one iota.
No?
No, I knew I knew the music we had created was fantastic because for one, as a music fan in general, I loved the music we wrote for that record. So, but what it did to music, I had no clue what was going to happen. Sky was wide open, and once that record came out, just everything just started falling into place. It was incredible, but I had no idea what we had done and the legacy we would leave and create. It was amazing. It was a good time period, and is Rage is not around anymore, is it? No.
It is
Yeah,
actually.
it is. It is. I don't watch it anymore, but I remember watching you doing a guest presenter years ago and was quite fascinated by the fact that it wasn't just full of heavy metal music. It was a really interesting program. Yeah, that was probably close to 30 years.
Yeah, that's how I roll. I have a wide,
Yeah,
like most people, I have a wide diversity of taste for music. If it speaks to me, I'm gonna love it.
awesome.
We are humans. As humans, we are made of vibrations. We are vibrational beings. That's the way atoms and strings theory is. We are vibrational beings, and if there's vibrations that are resonating with your personal frequency, you're gonna love it. There's no explanation to why you love music. It just speaks to you.
Good music, good music.
Yeah, 100%.
Good music's good music.
So, being in, I guess, more of a solo role now, do you feel like you could release any sort of album outside of what you're known for, that sort of industrial metal? Have you wanted to venture into, I don't know, something really crazy like a jazz album or something like that?
I do like jazz, but I am not capable of playing jazz. You gotta have a certain modicum of talent to be able to do that, and I just don't hold that. But as a solo artist, putting music out under my own name, I do feel like I can. I have done music under other band names, but as a solo artist, I think I can take all of that, make it a huge amalgamation, just like release whatever, just release it. I'm an independent artist, so I'm not beholden to any type of label right now. It's all on me. So I could just, no one has to answer to anybody else but me. I don't have anyone to blame but me.
Nice.
If it doesn't work, well, okay, next comes the next one.
So,
there is a lot of freedom in that, and I'm really relishing in that feeling.
what you're saying before about not being an independent artist, you can kind of do what you want. Did you ever feel the pressure in Fear Factory that you had to release a certain type of music?
Feel as a band we locked ourselves in a box.
Yeah.
And the label was expecting a certain sound, certain members were expecting a certain sound, and to be honest, a lot of fans were expecting a certain sound. Releasing anything else would have been just what's the word? It's just been heresy. And what are you doing? Say that doesn't sound like Fear Factory. Like, well, we did it one time. We did a record called Transgression.
Yeah.
And the title in itself was a transgression of the actual sound of what Fear Factory was. Instead of being a industrial metal band, we became sort of like on that record, we were like a hard rock band.
Yeah.
Almost. And fans treated it as such. So we did it to ourselves. But now as a solo artist, I don't feel that at all. I feel the sky's wide open.
That's so good.
So with the solo stuff, you've released 2 singles and they are killer, by the way.
Thank
Is
you.
the plan to just drop more singles, or are you planning on releasing an album anytime soon? Because we want an album, I'm not gonna lie.
I would love to release an album. I'm slowly working up to that. We're writing more music as we speak. I got two new songs in the pipeline ready to go. I got one song that we played at our last show, opening up for God Forbid. And after that show, we recorded it. So that song's a fucking banger. Excuse my language.
Nah,
It's okay.
you're fine.
It's called Savages. And I think that's going to be the next song you hear from me. But as a solo artist, I feel like I'm taking the template that hip hop artists did, just like dropping singles. Just, here you go. Here's another one. Here's another one. Just keep feeding the fans, keep feeding your audience something to keep them hungry. But it is my goal to release an album, to release the songs I've already put out, plus new songs onto one, album, so they can all find it in one place.
Brilliant.
That's awesome. So, someone like yourself who has been in the industry and doing this for such a long time, has your writing process changed? Does it get any easier? It fascinates me. I have no musical talent, so I have to ask that sort of
You
question.
try and sing every now and then.
No, that's
Not well, but you try.
Well, for writing music and writing lyrics, it really hasn't changed. I feel my lyrical process has maybe become a little more challenging because I'm trying to figure out what to write about sometimes. But I just got to remember, just keep it real, and there's nothing wrong about keeping it personal as well.
Mhm.
You write about what you know, and it's more believable. It's if you write about what you know, you're speaking the truth. Everyone will see it as truth. But if you're writing about something you have no idea about, everyone will see that as well as fake. And it's like, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But if you speak about what you're writing about passionately, then people will see that. Musically, working with new artists, working with new musicians. My band that I've curated, like I mentioned, over the past couple of years, fresh blood. I wouldn't say they're young, but they're new to the scene, new to everyone in my scene. So they're very capable, very competent, very talented, just amazing people in general. So working with these guys is inspiring, and they're presenting me with new music. Like, wow, that sounds dope.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that's in the pipeline next. We're gonna do that song next. We're gonna do this song after that. So we got no shortage of music because I'm working with new artists.
So that keeps everything really exciting and fresh for you, working with these new guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anti-Droid was written by Alex Crescioni. I met him while I was doing the vocals for Du Hast.
Mhm.
And he was the engineer and producer of that one. And while I was sitting doing vocals with him, we were talking about future and all that. And he was like, "Well, what's your plan?" So I was like, "Well, here's my moment. I'm gonna start putting my plans out into the universe." And I was wanting to be a solo artist and wanting to move forward in moving to the next chapter, as I say. And he's like, "Well, I got a song if you'd like to hear it." And it turned out to be Anti-Droid. I'm like, wow. The song's amazing. And, worked with him on that, and it came out killer. And he produced that song. He also produced the video, which is fantastic. So, working with new producers and new artists, that keeps it fresh. But, I'm going to say the live version of Anti-Droid is even heavier.
Damn, we gotta get to Melbourne in June.
Yeah, you go.
I'll go.
There's logistics.
We've got a little baby that we've got to deal with that she can deal with for the. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You can deal with the baby. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. See Bell.
At this
Bring the
stage,
baby.
yeah.
We're family friendly.
Exactly. Why
Put his
not?
headphones on.
Yeah.
He's
it'll be
only
fun.
11 weeks, so there's so many logistics with everything.
I understand that.
We'll give it a crack though.
I have 3 children. Now they're late teens now, but it was babies.
I've got that as well. We got like a
16, 11,
16,
and 11 weeks old.
Yeah, so I'm trying to remember how to do all this parenting thing again. Your career has been going obviously for a long time. I'm not saying you're old because you look youthful still, but what's your proudest album? What are you most proud of in your career to date?
Well, it's like comparing children.
Yeah, I've got my favorites as well with my kids.
But I got favorites too, but when you ask that question, the first album that came to my mind was working with Geezer Butler on GZR Plastic Planet record.
Plastic Planet is amazing.
That whole time period was just magic.
And so, how did that come about?
Well, it was we had just finished mixing demanufactured.
Yep.
Mhm.
And we was just we're Dino and I were going to Europe for a promo tour. So before the promo tour happened, the manager at the time said, "Hey," he contacted me. He goes, "Hey, I don't know if you ever heard of Geezer Butler." Like, yes, I've heard of Geezer Butler. Well, he's doing a solo record. His manager, which is his wife, Gloria Butler, reached out to me wondering if I had any artists I'd be interested in auditioning. So it's like, I'll audition. Fuck it. Excuse my language again. But he goes, okay, well, here. I agreed. I was like, yeah, I'd be happy to audition while I'm out there. So Gloria sent me a cassette tape,
Yeah.
3 tracks that he had done. And he wanted me to work on that to have something done, something for him by the time I got out there. So I got the tape and I was like, I listened to some couple of tracks, but I was really focusing on this one that was really calling to me. And so I was really focusing on this one. I had some words for it. I'm in London. I finished a promo tour and I had a day off. So the day off, I get on a train from London to Birmingham to go to Birmingham where Geezer lived. And I get picked up and go to his house in the countryside. And it's a I won't say it was it wasn't like a castle or anything like that. It was a very stately manor, I'll say. And, sat with him and his big ass dog Baldric, and talked for a while. And he goes, "So you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah, I go. Let's do this." So I follow him up to his studio, his attic studio, and looking around the studio, and looking around the wall, and there's all these gold records of Black Sabbath and platinum records of Black Sabbath and his basses and all that stuff. I'm like, oh my god, this is happening. And he had this I don't know, it's like some kind of rudimentary demo machine. I don't know, it had like 6 tracks on it. He showed me how to work it, and he goes, "Yeah, this works. You record this way, you press this button, you do this." I was like, okay. So I just sat down and in the tape I had and just went over my ideas for just the one song, which ended up becoming "Giving Up the Ghost." And after that, he goes, it came up like an hour later after that. When I was done, he's like, got me. He's like, let's go get some Indian food. I'm like, okay, let's go. Put me on a train after dinner. By the time I got back to London at my hotel, I get a message saying I got the gig.
Oh wow. That
So it all happened happened really fast, but it was, to me, it was such an honor to be considered by Geezer Butler as the vocalist for his first solo album. And now I feel, I could say I'm part of Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Catalog
yeah,
itself. I'm like,
100%.
here we go. That's like my favorite bands, and not here I am.
And you got to work with Geezer. That's amazing. I need to ask you a question.
Might just be a footnote, but I'm there.
No, that's amazing.
It counts.
One thing I heard recently, when we say good music's good music, we're as much as we love Fear Factory, we also love Bon Jovi, right? We not their latest stuff, but yeah, we're big fans of the earlier Bon Jovi. Now I heard Deep Manufacture and These Days were being recorded at the exact same time. Did you bump into the Bon Jovi boys at any time?
I never did personally.
Yeah.
So when we were recording Demanufacture, I was at Bearsville, by Woodstock, New York, and Bon Jovi was in the big room. So they had 2 different buildings. There was one building with 2 studios, and there was the barn that was just like 100 yards down. And Bon Jovi was in the big room. We were in the small room, and in the barn was Faith No More.
Oh wow!
We were already friends with, so we got to see them once in a while. I never actually. So one time we were upstairs in the lounge watching TV. My girlfriend was there hanging out for a little bit, and we're upstairs watching TV, and we're having to be watching Melrose Place. As we're watching Melrose Place, up the stairs comes Richie Sambora and Heather Locklear.
Yes.
And we're like, oh shit, sorry. She's like, oh, it's okay.
That's amazing.
But There's another story where our producer Reese was in the hallway on the phone, because back then there's no cell phones. You had to be on a landline in the hallway talking on the phone, and he was he was just talking, and he felt a little peckish, and some guy was walking by. He goes, "Hey, can you go get me a sandwich?" The guy just looked at him like, "No." It turned out to be Bon Jovi.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
That's huge.
And they asked us to keep our music, because we would blast
Yeah.
when we were recording. They did ask us to turn it down a little bit.
We'll try and we'll listen to these days and see if we can hear demanufacture in the background.
Did you watch that? Did you watch that Bon Jovi
Yeah.
documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look. What were your thoughts? You had to watch?
I can see why the band broke up.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Look, they were the band. And I'm not embarrassed to admit it. They were the band that got me into music back when I was like 6 years old, 7 years old, Slippery When Wet. And I don't like what they are now, but you know, they also got me into some heavier stuff. They were a bit of a
gateway.
Yeah, a bit of a gateway band. Now,
my gateway was Elvis.
Me too.
The first album I bought was an Elvis record.
Yeah, wow.
And then the first concert I went to, I was 11, 12, and it was Air Supply.
Oh, nice, nice. Now I need to before you go. This has been such a fun chat. Should I talk to Burton C Bell about my Burton C Bells?
Yeah, you should.
So this is when years ago I ripped off your tattoos and got them coloured. Right? I'm going to show you. Yep, and they're forever referred to as my Burton C Bells. I did red and blue, but they were completely ripped off your style, and to this day they're still called the Burton C Bells.
Those are cool.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like I always love as soon as I saw your tattoos, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm getting that. But I'm going to do a bit of a different.
Thanks for sharing.
Now, everyone, in June, go check out Burton C Bell. He's hitting Australia. Hopefully next time we'll get you out to Adelaide, but we'll definitely go check you out.
Next time we'll be hitting everywhere.
Awesome.
Maybe if tickets are selling well, they'll add dates.
Oh, mate. Oh, well, you know, like just saying your last show's in Melbourne, Adelaide's pretty close.
Well, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
It is. Make sure you get your tickets at Oztix. Check out Burton C Bell's new solo stuff. We're going to play Anti-Droid and Technical Exorcism right now. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Tish. Thank you so much for your time. I'm absolutely grateful for your support, and I'd be grateful for the audience if they came and supported independent artists. Come see me.
You're a legend. You're
listening
to Rock Hard with Phil and Tish, 89.7 PBA FM.